All right, brother. I am super excited to talk with you today, and I know how passionately you care about people and taking care of their health, and we just vibe so well with our conversations that I'm excited to bring this conversation to those that care about both relationships and fitness, and really
Yeah.
the holistic side of life, the holistic success. So we were talking before we went live, but let's jump into what is it about relationships and why people really start to work out. I'm talking about why people jump into working out and when.
Yeah. Historically, the number one reason people join a fitness program is because they're about to go through a breakup. Like they feel it, they know it, they're either planning it or the conversation's been happening. They are going through a breakup or they just recently went through a breakup, whether long-term boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse going through a divorce. Then I'll see those individuals, they're at the gym, they're focusing on themselves. It's like, I'm heartbroken. I don't want to be alone. I want to find my soulmate. So who do I get to be that be do have, whether it's intentional, unintentional. That's what we see in that fitness industry, nutrition industry. I'm going on a diet so I can focus on me. So I show up in a way to attract my ideal spouse, which I love that. Totally love it. I went through that. Although I've been in the fitness nutrition industry for over 30 years, I went through a spell, high stress, breakup, separation, divorce.
Yeah.
Looked like I was 40 pounds pregnant. So you could be like, Esteban looks pregnant. He's got twins going on. Completely out of shape. Working out, sort of eating, but no, because I was 40 pounds fat and fluffy. Went through the divorce, focused on me. I get to show up in a way to find my ideal spouse. And I did. My
Congratulations.
soulmate, amazing spouse.
Yeah.
And I went through this. So I definitely, I know we'll go back and forth. A pattern I see is somebody gets into their ideal shape, whatever that is. It's so different. That story is different for everybody. It's just, they're like, I've arrived, and you're showing up in a way of confidence. You're showing up in a way of joy, of power, of just the ways of being that attracts somebody.
Well, they feel good.
They're loving. Yes, they feel amazing. Like,
Yeah.
wow, I haven't felt this great in a long time.
Right.
And that's attractive. Then we get married. Then I'm busy working, although I was working before, and I'm no longer investing in myself. So one of the things that I see, and I definitely want to ask you questions about this, and I've experienced this, I got out of shape again. Although I'm the fitness guy, although I'm the nutrition guy. And when I got to be with my spouse, there was nothing left in the tank. So I'm like, this is a vicious cycle of like creating separation, because I know she didn't marry me to have leftovers.
Right.
I know she didn't marry me with the anticipation of, you were taking care of yourself before and now you're not in the sense of you look good and now you look like crap, but it's you were investing in you. You were showing up with your A game. Now, if you have a D, that's being really nice about it. So it's a pattern I've seen and I totally lived it. It's like, but you don't understand. I'm exhausted. I need to recharge. I just need to unwind. I'm dropping my keys in the bowl and it's like, I just need to veg out. You don't get it. No, they're not getting it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're not getting it from me because I'm completely empty. So one of the things I invite people is continue investing in themselves. We talked about put the oxygen mask on. So you take care of you. So you show up full.
Yeah.
You're present. You're connected. So when I'm with my wife, I'm connected. I'm present with my wife, not like I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I have a headache, guys. Don't want to hear that one, right? So it works both ways. So I'm curious on the fitness nutrition world. That's what I see. I'll see professionals reach out to me and it's like, I just don't have the energy anymore. They've got their spouse and they could potentially create a scenario where they're creating separation because they
Right.
just have an empty tank.
Yeah.
What do you see are common pitfalls in relationships?
One of the first things that I see, and I'll bring it back to something you said, the be, do, and the have. And we can go into depth on that at another time, but the identity issue is so key. Like if we don't truly identify as somebody who takes care of ourselves and prioritizes their self-care, which I know that's kind of a hot button topic, but and mostly it's aimed at women, but really I found for myself, like for myself, one of the things that I know I show up best if I take like a at least an overnight trip, like out into the woods camping or something like that once per month, once per every 6 weeks. I
That's
show up
good.
better. So it looks different for different people. You get a
Yep.
pedicure, you get a massage, like you have a quiet night alone, whatever it is, you get to care for yourself. We break it up into three things that we call the three S's. You need to manage outside of your career and sleep. You need to manage your solo time, your social time, and your sweetheart time. And you need to bring balance and harmony into
That's
your
good.
life. And if you don't, now we just had a conversation the other day with a client who we helped her attract the ideal partner that she was looking for. And now she's like 6 months in and she's like, I am losing my mind. I want to just throw it all away. What is going on? After talking to her, I'm like, what does your solo time look like right now? She's like, there is none. She's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I had to let that go. So you get to manage your own emotions, but a lot of that comes down to the identity. Who are you going to be? When Mayan and I met, I had 5 daily disciplines that I was doing every day. And she will tell you that was part of the reason she was so attracted to me. It was like I did these things every day. She knew that I had commitments that I kept. Well, then, you get in the relationship and you got to meet the different needs and all these different distractions come up. And sometimes you'll start to let those things slip. And when you let those things slip, those are the beginnings of problems in the relationship because you said you were this person, but you're
Yeah.
not showing up that way. Now I lose respect for you. And as men, respect is more important than trust, than
Yep.
love. So if you don't respect me and admire me anymore, then I don't feel loved. Now I'm not going to show up in the same way for you. And we get this thing that starts to fracture.
So good. So how would you coach somebody into maintaining that to where that the integrity of that relationship doesn't crack it? And I know we're in two different scenarios. And
Yeah.
how do I maintain the integrity? Like I've got the sweetheart, and I'm going to say that because I'm in a different point of view now than I was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Now I've got a 10 out of 10 relationship. And I'm investing, I purposely invest into my wife, into the relationship we have every day. I'm
Yeah.
purposeful about it.
I love it.
I'd say that's a lot of because of what I created in the past. And I created a separation and a divorce.
Right.
In the past, my viewpoint, so these are two different viewpoints and questions. One is, what do we get to do when we have an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 relationship to maintain that strong integrity? And then the other one is, I wasn't going to invest because it should go well. Like I said, I do show up.
Yeah.
I said, I do, but I really expect you to do. So that was the viewpoint.
Right.
Unfortunately I didn't have that coaching or mentoring or.
Well, you also somewhat been brainwashed by the whole Disney philosophy of like you meet, there's sparks, it's magic, and then they lived happily ever after. Like there is no more
It happens. Yeah. When
shit kind of thing. Yeah. And then like the 60-minute video of like, it's just amazing. And then the rest of their life is happily ever after. Like it's work. A good relationship is not designed to make you happy. It's designed to bring out the flaws in your character and have somebody stand with you and look at those things and actually grow and improve them and heal them. And so if you think that part's all going to be fun and games, like you're naive. It really is about growing you into the best, like fully integrated person possible. And so your ideal partner is not going to just be somebody who's always cheerleading you, even though cheerleading is huge. And it is a great thing to have in a relationship when you know that your partner is that your biggest fan, but somebody who will face those demons with you, help you pull them out and heal them, look at them, heal them, and then you're better and you inspire them to be better. So that's, I think, one of the big things, but I'll answer your question this way. It does start with intention. If you want to have a great relationship, that doesn't happen on accident. So the desire to have that, and then the intention that you set to say, I'm going to be the type of person who creates a 10 out of 10 relationship. I went through divorces as well, 2 of them actually. And one of the things I learned is that I was always running from something, not running towards something. So for me, my
That's good.
was I will never get divorced. But when you're saying that, you're like the person in the horror movie who's running away from the bad guy, from the monster. You're constantly looking back. I don't want to get divorced. I don't want to get divorced. I was never looking forward going, I'm going to be an amazing husband. I'm going to create an amazing relationship with a wife who adores me because of how I show up. I was never thinking forward looking. I was always running away from something. So that's something to be aware of. And then I would say with that intention, you get to check in with each other. Where are we right now? And my partner, Rayan, and I do this every week where we do a gratitude journal when we go on a specific date night, an intentional date night. We bring this book and we write at least 10 things that we're grateful for each other about. And then we grade our relationship. We don't grade each other. We grade how do we feel in the relationship on a
I
scale of
like
10.
that. It's I can see that my internal judgment wouldn't be triggered looking at it that way. You know,
Yeah.
somebody's hasn't gone through leadership to look at it neutral. It's like, what do you mean? So I love that. And I love how you say intention, because I look back to past relationship, divorce. I can't remember like genuinely having an intention of it's going to be a 10 out of 10 relationship,
Right.
like at all.
Yeah.
Whereas now it is a purposeful daily intention. It's not a once intention. It is and you and I know each other personally. It is daily. It's a
Right.
daily intention on how do I get to show up 10 out of 10? And ironically enough, this being the topic, and I appreciate actually genuinely having the conversation with you, behind my computer screen, I have a sticky up there. I am an awesome husband. So I'm always asking myself, how do I get to be awesome for my wife?
Beautiful.
Now, intention. And like, I love how you use that word, intention.
Yeah. I appreciate everything you said there. I will say that like the last thing I'll say as far as the answer to your previous question, I like the idea of making vows. I think that vows are kind of lost as far as most people think. Most people only really make vows on their wedding day to the priest. Sometimes they write them. Oftentimes they're given to them.
And 2 months later, they have no clue what the heck they were.
They never really take it seriously anyways. A lot of the words that they say don't matter, or they're fluffy. Like, I love you so much because of whatever you are and whatever you do. My idea of vows is that you get to look at yourself and commit to who you're going to show up and be. And this, I think, ties in beautifully with who you are and what you do and what you coach. Why do we show up and work out when we're in that breakup or ready to start dating again, but then we stop? It's because we have not really counted the cost of who do we say we're going to be and what is our intention and how are we going to fulfill that. And I don't love the idea of being called out. That has a negative connotation. But with my partner and I, and with some of my close friends, we have the idea and the mentality of calling each other higher. And so if I give you the commitment that I'm going to show up this way, I'm going to work out at least 3 days a week, or I'm going to do whatever it is, and then I let you down on that, you have permission to call me higher. You're not judging me. You're not attacking me. You're going, hey, I know who you are, and I know what you said you were going to do and who you are being, but you're not showing up that way right now. And I just want to lovingly encourage you and remind you for you to be the best you and be your word and step up and do those things.
So that's good. It makes me think of who you hang out with makes a difference. We hear so many professionals talk about those 5 people you surround yourself with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm transparent with this now. I will not invest time with men that speak negatively of their spouse. I won't invest time with men that speak negatively or disrespectfully of women. Like, I had enough of that influence my entire life that foundation was already there. I don't need more of that in my cup. What I get to surround myself with is guys that honor and cherish and love and protect and respect their wife. So it's and then to have somebody that would call me higher, because I'm human. I'm not going to show up on my A game.
Me too.
All the time. It's like that. And looking hindsight 2020, in the moment, I don't know that I'm showing up with a D.
Right. Yeah.
And when I have somebody in my tribe like, yo, Esteban, you're not showing up like yourself, dude. What's going on? Then it's like, well, and my initial response may not be thank you. And I mean, that's genuinely where we get to practice. I'm like, you know what? It may not feel good in the moment, and thank you, because this is not the way I'm committed to showing. This intention, my intention is not to show up this way. So I love how you share that. That's so key. So key.
Awesome. So I I want to just acknowledge you because you are one of those people in my life where you inspire me to stay true to my word on my physical fitness side, because it's easy. And I know a lot of men are this way. The demands of life, the demands of the household, the demands of of your spouse, your kids, like all the
Yeah.
different demands. And one of the things I love about your program, and I'm not saying, I don't want to overgeneralize it, but like you give me some hope and excitement where you talk about like you can get a good workout in 15 minutes a day. And I'll just say, before I knew you, before I met you, I had to start really small. I used to set these big goals. Okay, I'm gonna go to the gym 5 days a week, 45 minutes an hour. And then 6, 7 days into it, I'd have a too busy a day, I couldn't do it. And
Yep.
I got so small, like embarrassingly small. It was like, I commit to doing at least 10 push-ups a day. Why 10 push-ups? Because I can do 10 push-ups in like 7 seconds. And there's 0 days where I don't have 7 seconds to do something. But
Love
when I'm
that.
down there,
Love that.
I never do 10 push-ups. I'll always do at least 15. I also adopted the mentality of like, who am I when we talk about way of being?
Yeah.
I adopted this idea that I'm the type of guy who always does more than the minimum. So I'm never going to do 10. I'm always going to at least do 11. But then it would turn into like 35 or 50. And then at one point I was doing 100 push-ups at a time, like in one set. That's just because I committed to doing 10. Like start small. And you, with your philosophy, like you're not asking people to do radical breakthrough diet stuff, but like you are able to coach people in such a way that I think is very exciting.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I'm in my 50s, so it's the time commitment in the different seasons of our life. It's literally that. It's different. When you're single and in your 20s, that's a lot of your social time, which I actually love that for people to have social time in a fitness athletic scene versus a bar pornography scene. So yes, awesome. Good for you. And I'll confidently say I'm in the top 1 percentile of my age bracket.
Yeah.
With 10, 15, 20 minutes of investment per day. So, and it stacks. It's the, what do I get to do to show up in my A game for my wife? Like that's me honoring and respecting her.
Yeah.
Me showing up in my D game is not respecting her. It's not honoring her. It's not loving her. So it's come from a point where a lot of individuals will focus on, I want to lose weight, right? And for why? I want to get in shape, and why? I want to increase my health, and why? There's financial aspects of it. There's fear aspects of it. And typically all of that relates back to when we take our last breath, what do we remember? What are the memories that I created and the connections that I created with my loved ones? So investing in me so that I show up. I eat in a way so my mind is clear and I can show up that way for my wife,
Yeah.
for my son. And I like the concept of transition. It's business owner. So I've got the focus and the weight of business, whether you're an employee or an employer, and what's my transition so I don't burden my spouse with that. And many times with fitness, you can create that, whether you do a physical movement or not. I would encourage everybody to, yes, invest into your body, from the food and to the movement, because it builds that grit, it builds discipline, it builds delayed gratification, it builds commitment, these ways of being that show up in all aspects of life. And to have an excellent relationship, those ways of beings carry over. So it's a way of doing those repetitions over and over and over. And that's just who I be. So I get to show up that way.
Can you clarify that you talked about transition, but I'm not sure I followed you exactly. What do you be more specific on? What does that transition look like?
Got it. So it could look a couple of ways. So let's say I'm doing a transition from work and I've got to stress from work. And my energy may be low. The transition could be prior to stepping in front of my wife.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to go through some breath work. I may go through going through a mantra. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to de-stress. Stress, anxiety, depression actually goes down. So this is all clinical studies. When we do movement with the muscles, when we activate the muscles, it goes down and the dopamine and serotonin go up. So it's like, I just reboosted my energy. So I show up. So it's a transition of whatever was going on into now my intention, my presence, my
Yeah.
connections is to my spouse.
All right, I love that. And I know we're running out of time, but I want to share something with you that I think ties nicely to that. We coach a lot of women, Man and I coach a lot of women who are trying to attract that ideal partner. And one of the things that I tell almost all the women that makes them laugh and helps them see what I'm talking about is that so many women, I'll just little plug here. Feminism is just teaching women to be in their masculine energy. That's all it is. And so many women are empowered and they're feeling empowered and they're doing badass stuff. They're creating companies, they're changing the world, and they're using their masculine energy because masculine energy is the doing energy. It
Right.
often leaves them burned out. It leaves them like suffering and just spent at the end of the day. Typically, a male in his masculine energy actually feels good when he's put in a good day work. He feels good about that. She ends up feeling burned out because she's actually not in her often native energy. I am overgeneralizing.
Interesting.
Not every woman is a feminine primary energy. But one of the things that we tell women is like, if you've been at work all day and you come home, and this is where it ties in, the transition when you come into the door, maybe there's some things that you need to do at the end of the night when you get home from work. But I would encourage you to shift out of your masculine energy and into your feminine energy. And I talk about that, like when you hang up your keys or hang up your purse, hang up your balls too. Like shift out of that masculine energy with the intention, and then do some things to actually get back out of your head and into your body. Do like turn some music on, light some candles, dance, take a bath, put some lotion on your feet, do something to get out of your head and get into your body. And that shifts your energy dramatically where you'll feel better, but you'll also create an opportunity. If you're single, pay attention here. This creates an opportunity for you to attract a masculine energy. And it's like magnets. The one pole needs the other pole.
That's so profound.
You're not going to attract that masculine partner because you are both energies. There's no room.
Wow. I have many females that live in their masculine energy.
100%.
That's not their dominant one, yet they exercise it or express it looking for male. That's the majority of my audience. We've got the men and we've got the women, and they're like, how do I get to attract that? Because I'm attracting beta men, I don't know the terminology, but I'm expressing what they share with me. So that's, ladies, I hope you guys are hearing this one. For those of you that is a barrier there. It's like, I'm looking for somebody that can actually take care of me, yet they didn't put their balls up on the wall.
Right. And there's so much more we can talk about, but we'll have to save it for another day because there's a lot that we can unpack on that subject. But I appreciate you.
Yeah. I definitely want to hear more of that one. That's good. I'm like, I get to show up in a way, whether that's her energy or not, that attracts that, because my wife definitely switches.
Okay, so let's talk about this because we call that chaos. There's the masculine.
We got the encore section going on here. You guys just sit back down and we're going to keep going just a little bit. Just good.
A little bit longer. So there's the masculine energy, there's the feminine, and then there's what we call chaos. And chaos is when you switch back and forth. It doesn't have to be chaos because if you learn to communicate it, then it can actually be very powerful. Man and I move in and out of masculine and feminine regularly, but we actually articulate it like, hey, this is something that I need you to take the lead on because you're excellent at this. I'll follow you, and she will shift. However, if you're doing that, like both of you are going in and out, and you never know when or why or where
you're not flowing or dancing purposefully.
Yes, it creates a lot of problems. It creates a lot of tension. So you can either really learn how to articulate and communicate when that's happening, or I'll speak to the men here. Men, if you're in your masculine and you want your woman to feel good, you get to lead strong but gentle. And then if she feels that she can trust you, it'll keep her in her feminine more often.
That's good. Trust and safety.
If you keep breaking that trust, if you keep letting it down, she's going to feel the need to protect herself. Protection is masculine energy. She's going to move into that. She's going to start getting shit done, and she's going to resent you because you didn't get the shit done that you said you were going to do. And that creates lots of problems.
That's a massive nugget. That's good. That was good. Awesome. Yeah, I know we could. This will be a multi-series part for sure because I'm curious to just kind of continue down this rabbit trail.
Yeah, and I love learning from you too. So I'm looking forward to these conversations.